Hello, Jungle Explorer here, and today I'm going to be talking about this little cheap Chinese little car dash cam. I have decided I'm going to put some dash cams up in my car due to some recent close calls with some bad drivers that are just doing some crazy stuff on the road. Seems like every year people get worse and worse. And anyways, so you know, you can pay a lot of money for a car camcorder or a dash cam, and I was online and I found some really cheap stuff, and literally this one after shipping cost me about 18 bucks. It's a no-name, you know, no brand on it at all, camcorder here. You know, so I'm not expecting a whole lot out of it. I'm just, you know, didn't pay that much for it. So let's open the box here. Let's take out the camera, look at it. First thing, it's very lightweight. I mean, it's just, that thing probably, I don't even weighs like a letter. It's very, very lightweight. See the lens there, evidently supposed to have some, night vision capability on it, I guess. I'm not sure. You know, it's pretty simple. It's got some buttons along the bottom here for controlling it. It doesn't come with a whole lot of instructions. It comes with this little card that it kind of basically tells you what its functions are and what its specifications are. It has a few little instructions here, and like most of your Chinese stuff, it's a decent English, but they have a lot of grammatical errors on it and stuff like that, so I generally don't even look at this stuff. What it does say, I have a little cold today, so if you hear me sniffle, that's why. You know, it says 2.4 inch screen, pixels, 2600 wide, 170 degree resolution, 1 lux, recording cycle, motion detection, AVI, video format, video compression, JPEG, video resolution 1080p, 720p, VGA, seamless video, yes, automatic recording support, yes, looping, audio version, night vision, 6-piece infrared LED or IR LED, and memory speeds, and sports up to 32 gigabyte SD card. It says it has a 3.7 volt polymer battery. Power consumption is 20 milliamp recording hours. So anyways, that's what it talks about it there. It's just really super light. Let's see what else comes in the box. We have a windshield mounting base here that clips onto it, a car charger, and a data cord to connect it to your computer. Okay, so it doesn't come with an SD card, which I didn't expect it to at that price point. That's fine. Let's see here how it connects to, I guess this just slides right in here like this. Okay, so that was pretty easy. Alright, most of this stuff is very lightweight. I'm afraid I'm going to break it. It feels so flimsy. So you tighten that thing up there. Okay, see that? Let's mount it up here on the windshield somehow. Let's see here. I think I got this like that. Okay, that'll, whoa, it fell off. That ain't no good. Well, okay, maybe I didn't put it on there far enough. Alright, I don't feel it. It just kind of presses on there, so if you move it too much it might fall off. So let's stick it up here on the windshield. Okay, well, that was pretty good. Let me tighten it up here a little bit. Okay, now let's see, let's take this power cord here. Let's see here. Wow, that's long. It's like a 10-foot power cord. Wow. does this plug in at? It plugs in up top here. Alright, it plugs in there. The power cord is like way too long for it. And we'll plug it in there. Okay, so it's on right there. I've got a little micro SD card, and it's gonna go right in there on the side. Push that in. Okay, let's get this thing set up here. Let's see if I can see this screen. So you control it by pressing these little side buttons here and then pressing OK and then menu. There's two menus on it. You get to the first one by pressing the menu button once and then to the second one. So on the first menu, you got the resolution, the date tag, motion detection. That one's on. Let me go ahead and turn that off. Okay, cycle recording, you have option of off, 3-minute or 10-minute. I'm gonna leave it on 5-minute here. Okay, you press OK to set the setting. There's a little OK button there. Audio and the EV or the light brightness there. So you can increase or decrease the lightness. Now you want to go to the second menu button, set page. You just press the menu again. You got format. You got language settings, auto power off, screensavers, reset system, frequency, time setting, video rotate, fill light, and the version that you have, which let's see if I can see this. It's just a serial number of some kind. Anyways, alright, so then you press the menu button and you go back to the recording screen. So we're at 1080p here. The mode button switches it from video to camera, and then I guess okay, you can watch your videos. So pressing the mode button here, let's see, will allow you to play your cameras. You press it twice to go from video to camera to play. And so okay, press the mode button again, then you're back to video camera, and then and so forth. So you know, it's pretty basic, simple little controls here that you use. I don't really expect a whole lot of quality out of it, but you know, hopefully it'll do some good. I'm going to do a little test drive here. Okay, so I've got two cameras set up here. One is the little cheap dash cam, and I'm just calling it the cheap dash cam because I can't find a manufacturer or a brand on it. This is my DB Power EX5000 camera. I've made a lot of my YouTube videos with this one, and the camera that I'm using to film this on is the SJ Cam SJ7 Star. Now the difference here, this is an $18 unit, this is about a $40 unit, and what I'm filming with is about a $170 unit. So I wasn't going to do a comparison with the SJ Cam because it just really wouldn't be fair to an $18 unit to try to compare that. That's apples to oranges. But I think that comparing an $18 unit to a $40 unit camera is not too far of a stretch. Now we already know that this camera produces pretty good quality because if you've watched any of my other YouTube videos that I made a couple of years ago and stuff, you would know that that it does pretty good quality. Now I have everything set to 1080p resolution, recording at 30 frames per second. Everything is, all the settings are the same. All the cameras are going to be recording a 5-minute loop. So everything is pretty much the same on this recording. I'm going to take a little drive here in a little bit and you know, show you what it looks like. I'm going to throw this while I'm driving. I'm going to have the two cameras side by side on screen. Just right now to show you kind of the setup. I'm going to go ahead and power them on by plugging them in. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because on this is a Chevy Silverado pickup, and the power outlets are not controlled by the key. You have to manually plug your dash cams in and out on these kinds of trucks, because unlike European vehicles, when you turn the key on and off, it powers the DC outlets, but the DC outlets or power ports are on constantly in a GM vehicle, or at least GM pickups as far as I know. So anyways, getting back to the cameras, I'm going to go ahead and plug them in, and so they'll both turn on. That one turned on there, and they'll both immediately go to recording. So we're ready to go record here. And what I want you to notice, I'm going to throw both of them up on screen here real quick. What I want you to notice is that you know, this right here is set to film in 1080p resolution, but what you're getting is what's called square box. It's just a square instead of a wide angle full screen type view that you're getting out of the DB Power EX5000. And I'm going to put, just on the side note, all these different products I'm using here are going to have product links in the description of the video, under the video. Just click on the show more in the description area, and you'll be able to see if you want to go straight to these product links, if you want to check these out. So anyways, but if you notice, this one has a wide angle screen. So the first thing that I can tell you about this camera is, regardless of what it says 1080p, it's not actually capable of 1080p. It's taking, I don't know what it is, but it's square box resolution. At the end of this video, I'll look at the actual file attributes, and we'll see what the resolution is on the camera. I know this one is 1080p, and also the SJ7 Star here is filming in 1080p. So let me go ahead and take a little drive here. I'm going to take this one off and set it up where it'll be more comparable to this right here, and then we'll hit the road. Okay, ready to hit the road here. I gotta go kind of slow on this little bumpy road here because my SJ cam is just basically sitting on the dashboard without any, I don't have a window mount for it. Just sitting there, I'm holding it with my hand, just trying to get a closer view so you can kind of see the three together. Got a little dust spots on my window there. I'll wash that off. Boy, ain't nothing like seeing dust spots when you're heading straight into the sun. But this is going to give you an idea of what these cameras are going to do, like side by side, so you can kind of tell the difference in video quality. Now again, it's not fair to compare an $18 camera to a $170 camera, but you know, it shows you exactly what it does. Now, as I've said before, the idea that you can buy a dash cam for as little as $18 that even works is quite amazing. You know, somebody somewhere is working for almost nothing, and that's kind of sad. But this review isn't about that kind of stuff. What it's about is, will it perform the function that it's supposed to perform? Now, let's talk about the purpose of a dash cam while we're going down the road here. In my opinion, the purpose of a dash cam is to record a potential accident or something like that, where you're involved in an accident or an accident occurs in front of you. And why do you want to record that? Well, you want to record it for evidence. So if you're going to use something for evidence, I kind of feel that it needs to be as clear as possible. I'm sure that you've seen newscasts about people that have, you know, robbed
convenience stores, and they've got video footage of the robber, but it's so pixelated that you really can't tell what the perpetrator looks like, even if he wasn't wearing a mask, you know. So it's kind of useless. And the reason that it's always like that is because video takes up a lot of data space. You know, high quality video just takes up an amazing amount of data space. And, you know, stores run those videos, those security cameras, you know, 24/7, and it would just take, you know, terabytes and terabytes of data space to record high quality video all week long. And so, you know, that's one of the reasons that you have that low quality video, is because they're trying to save on data space. I'm going to go ahead and turn around here and head back the other direction. So I'm just going to pull off the road. I'm in a big old pickup, so I don't have to worry about things. 4-wheel drive, off-road tires. I can drive off across any field or mountain I want to drive in this thing. Anyways, so just kind of as we're going along, talking, filling the dead air space for you. But you know, you can see the video there, you see what it's doing, and you know, it's really not high quality. It's got a lot of pixelation in it, but again, it's an $18 camera, so you know, it's going to be up to you to decide whether this camera is worth. I mean, is it worth 18 bucks? Of course. I mean, there's no question it's worth 18 bucks. It actually takes video. It comes with a windshield mount. It comes with a cord. It even has a night vision function. I tested out the night vision function on it. Honestly, it really wasn't worth even. Basically, it has night vision for about 2 feet. It has pretty decent night vision for about 12 inches. But it's so ridiculous to even mention it when we're talking about a dash cam that should be able to see, you know, at least 30-40 feet in front of it. Something. So, I mean, I'm not even going to do a demo on the night vision because it's just ridiculous. It has, the night vision is basically some infrared emitters that it has on there, but they're so dim that they just really don't provide enough light to help it out any. And in my test at night that I did, when I did turn it on, the little red infrared emitters reflected off of the windshield back into the dash cam, causing even more distortion than normal. So I'm going to pass on the night vision part of it. I couldn't find really a use for it, so I'm going to say it doesn't have night vision, even though they tried to include that function. So anyways, there you have it. I'm going to go now to some night vision footage in the next scene, and so you'll get to see how it performs at night. And then I'm going to go to talk about the file attributes of the camera. So here comes that night footage.
Okay, so this is a nighttime video, and you can see that I'm sitting at Allsup's and getting some gas and stuff, and about to hit the road. Now I'm on the road here, and just kind of let you see in what this camera will do at night. As you can see, you know, it actually is capturing, you know, some video, and I'm actually astounded that it actually is doing as well as it is, considering how bad the sensor is in the daytime. But honestly, you know, how much could you really tell if anything occurred in front of you? It would have to occur right on your front bumper. So, you know, just take that for what it is. Just trying to drive along here and see. Okay, this part of the video here is where I turned the little night vision function on, the little infrared emitters. And as you can see, there's kind of these red and blue artifacts all over the screen. And that's because the infrared light is reflecting off of the windshield of the car. But I just wanted to let you see how it kind of looked inside town with lights and stuff at night. And, you know, I'm going to leave it up to you to judge whether it's something you could use. So right out here in a little bit, I'm going to go to show you kind of the file attribute qualities of this and talk about that a little bit, so you kind of understand about the data size and everything. But the video quality
is your most important thing, and this is what I wanted you to see. Okay, so here I just wanted to show you some file attributes. Now I have all three of the cameras, files that I filmed with these cameras aligned right side by side. I named them what they are: cheap dash cam, DB Power EX5000, SJ Cam SJ7 Star. You can see over here that they're all 5 minutes long, and these are footages of the exact same scene where the cameras were running side by side down the road. So they're capturing the same exact footage, so that there's no difference in light and everything. So now check the data size of each of these files. You see the cheap dash cam for the 5 minutes about 547 megabytes. The DB Power EX5000 for the same 5 minutes used only 433 megabytes, but produced a much higher quality video. And the SJ7 Star here for the same 5 minutes used 880 megabytes. Now you're like, well, why is the difference in the data size? Well, if you notice here, this is an AVI file. AVI basically has very little compression. Basically, on that cheap dash cam, they're using almost a raw video file with zero compression, which means that there's no room to take anything away from that. And even so, it's pretty bad video. It's pretty crappy quality. So they use an uncompressed file size. Now the MOV format is an Apple format, and it's a really good compression algorithm, which means that this video, or if it was filmed in AVI, it would have been much higher. But because there's room to compress it and take some of the quality out, the MOV files compressed it down a little bit. The SJCam 7 Star here is the reason it's higher is just it is much superior quality video. It's in an MP4 format, and that's also a compression algorithm, and it's compressed, but I can show you what the difference is. So here we go. Let's go to the AVI file. Let's look at the file attributes here. Sorry. Okay, we're going to go to this, and we'll go to properties, and we'll go to details. Now, here it's going to show you the actual resolution, which is 1280 by 960. So that it's not 1080p. It shows you the data rate, which is 14,688, and its total bit rate is about close to 15,000, and it's 30 frames per second. Okay, let's take a look at the DB Power EX5000, see what its data rate and details are. Now you see here, it's a true 1080p. It's 1920 by 1080, 10,000 data rate. So it's a lower data rate than the cheap dash cam, which was around 15,000. So that's also lowering how much data it's using. But because it has a better quality lens and a better quality sensor, it's actually capturing superior quality video. Okay. Now let's go to the SJ7 Star here and look at its qualities here. And what we see here is this the 1080p resolution, 1920 by 1080p. But now look at their 23,500 data rate. So much higher data rate, and it's just capturing much more information in the video. And that's because of the sensor that it has that's capable of capturing just much more detail. And so, you're going to have higher, like I said, it's a cheap camera. They're using a raw video format with zero compression, trying to salvage whatever they can from that cheap lens and that cheap sensor. But it is an $18 camera. So that gives you an idea of what the camera will do on the data, and that kind of, if you take and divide that, it's about 100 megabytes, 110 megabytes per minute on the camera. So an hour, you could take that and you could figure out what an hour would be. But that's just to show you those file attributes there, so that'll help you out and make your decision. And now I'll finish up this video.
Well, there you have it. I've covered about everything that was important on this this little camera here. There's a lot on the box that is not true. It says HD 1920 by 1080. You know, the viewing angle is just a lot on this box that is not true. But it is a little camera. It does take video. It does come with its mounting base. You can use it in your car. It comes with its charging cord. So, you know, for what it's worth, you know, for $18, it's really hard to complain. You're going to have to decide whether it's something you think will be satisfactory for you to depend on in your car. About the only thing I can say about this is it's supposed to have an onboard battery. I have tried to charge that battery and I can't get it. It does have a little tiny bit of a battery. It might stay on for about 2 minutes before it dies, but you know, it has no battery life whatsoever. Of course, as light as it is, you know, I can't expect that it would have anything in there. So that's about all I have to say about it. So remember, all the links to the products you've seen in this video are going to be underneath the video in the description area. So if you're interested in them, you can go down there, click on them, take you right to the products. So I appreciate it. Well, if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and comment. Until next time, the Jungle Explorer signing out.